Okay, so now if you are a regular listener to the CBC Radio 3 podcast, you'll know that one of the Canadian bands that we really love around here is Tegan and Sara, originally from Calgary, Alberta. They have a new album coming out, finally. It will be released on July 24th, and it is called The Con. And I love speaking to these two because they rarely hold anything back, full of opinions. So here is our latest interview with Tegan and Sara on what they are and what they are not.
Folk duo Tegan and Sara. You're twins. You're female. We are not a folk duo. You're Canadian. You're gay. You're playing lead. You have to play acoustic because that's the only way you can be dynamic.
Tegan and Sara.
Tegan and Sara with the twin powers known as Tegan and Sara.
I think we have a very normal sibling relationship.
Hello, Tegan.
Hey, Grant.
Hello, Sara.
Hi.
So I've had the pleasure of listening to an advanced copy of the new album, and I am enjoying it very much. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling about it, Tegan?
This is like the first sort of record that we've really micromanaged every little detail, and Sarah and I kind of recorded like the majority of the keyboards and guitars and pianos and vocals. So I felt like I knew the record intensely, like intimately. I had an intense intimacy with the record, and it was kind of like... It's
disgusting.
I know.
Now, what about you, Sara?
I love The Con. I think it's great. And it's been an interesting dynamic.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't like it. I just said I needed to take some space from it.
You took space from it, like you didn't want to be intimate with it anymore, which made it almost seem like you wanted to be intimate with me, which is disgusting.
Dare I ask what the pros and cons of being in Tegan and Sara are in 2007, Tegan?
You do the pros.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're all pros. Like, I think that, you know...
It's not fair because you're trying to take my cons.
I'm not. I don't think... I don't know. I'm like I'm on this whole kick. I got brainwashed a few months ago and...
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I went to this, like...
She read The Secret, and she's like, way up in Oprah right now, so...
I did read The Secret, but it was like a combination of, like, finishing the record and starting to work again.
All right, well, it sounds like you're in a good place, Tegan. Now, Sara, what about the cons, if there are any?
I don't really see any cons, except, I mean, it's hard to know where to park your helicopter.
For whatever reason, you have dealt with a lot of labels in your career. People have always wanted to put a lot of labels on you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's identical twins, there's girls playing rock, there's the sexual orientation, Canadian, blah, blah, folk Wicca nightmare, dare I bring that up?
Yeah.
But are any, I'm kidding there, but are any of those labels harder to deal with than others?
I hate the folk duo. That's what I hate. Like, we just signed this new record deal, and all the press releases and all the articles were like, folk duo, Tegan and Sara, signed to Sire. And I was like, I mean, we're not a duo. I mean, yes, there's two of us, which makes us a duo, I guess.
But, like, are the Kinks a duo?
But we're a band. We play with a 5-piece band. We've never put out an acoustic record in our lives. Like, we are not a folk duo.
It certainly is important to give context, but take something like Sexuality. It's like, every time we hear about a band, we're not like, heterosexual new pornographers are in town this weekend. It's amazing, I love these heterosexual Canadians, I hate that. It's like, who cares? Like, but it's a fine line because it's like, okay, well, if you start, complaining about that, it's like, oh, well, are you trying to, not talk about who you are? Are you in the closet?
Yeah, we're gay.
Like, oh,
we're gay. We get it. You can say gay once if you need to say that we're gay. That's fine. I mean, all you have to do is type Tegan and Sara to the internet, and it's like, gay. Yes, we're gay. We're Canadian. I mean, we know we're duo. I think it's pretty obvious when you print a picture that we're female.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an unnecessary label.
So, I mean, contextually, some of this stuff just seems a bit redundant.
Repeat the words that I know we both said.
All right, well, now let's talk about the actual title because it's quite intriguing. The Con. And I know it's a song on the record too, but why did you choose that as the title to the entire album?
So we were looking for something kind of big and wide and open to interpretation. And Tegan sort of came up with this idea that, you know, based on what her material was written about and then what my material was written about, you know, for her, I know she talks a lot about the con of love, you know, like when you start to date someone and you start to, you know, you sort of almost are a different person than the person you really truly actually are. And for me, like, you know, short form, like I was in a relationship already, so I sort of thinking about like taxes and relationships and stress and anxiety and, you know, trying to keep it all together and convince the person that you're sleeping next to every night that you're normal and sane and whatever. So we really like the idea of the con as being sort of like not dishonesty, but like, you know, when you're sort of trying to have a different face than the one you really have.
What I want to do is thank you so much for doing this, and I want to play a song from the record. We have always loved your music. We love that you finally have a new record out after 3 years or something. And thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Hey, no problem at all.
Okay, and I'll see you at your show in Vancouver.
All right, take care, Grant.
Okay, bye.